This week's theme on the Retirement Quick Tips podcast is the ultimate guide to RMDs, or required minimum distributions, in 2024. Now, today I'm talking about timing your RMDs. I touched on this a little bit yesterday because the very first year that you're required to take a minimum distribution, which if you turn 73 in 2024, this would be your first year of taking a distribution. Normally, you have to take that by the end of the calendar year, so December 31st. But if it's your first year, you can actually wait until April 1st of the following year. So that's one thing to know about timing your RMDs. However, I would say most of the time it's going to result in a much higher tax bill than you want, because you'd have to take 2 RMDs next year, and most people just don't want to do that. So that's the first thing to know about timing, is that the rules are different with that very first RMD that you'll have to take. But then beyond that, you have lots of options. So the thing to know is that the RMD is calculated based on the previous year's ending balance. So January 1st, or the close of business on December 31st, you could calculate your RMD and you'll know what that amount is on January 1st. You have all the way until December 31st each year to take out your RMD. So you have lots of options. You could take it out as a lump sum. You could take it out as a monthly amount. You could take it quarterly. Many people I work with, my clients, they take a lump sum. A lot of them take it monthly, and it's convenient because you can take that RMD amount. I talked previously about how you can aggregate those, and then you can just set up a monthly distribution the same day, every month. It gets deposited to your bank account, and it's kind of this nice income stream cash flow that hits your bank account. And it's also a lot of peace of mind because you're not having to worry about it. Once it's done and calculated, the RMD amount's not going to change. It's set in stone for the whole year. And then you just redo that every year and recalculate that. And then you're taking your full RMD for the year. And I talked previously too about the importance of aggregation. This works best when you have accounts at one place and you don't have a 401k here and a 403b there and an IRA here and another IRA at this institution over here. That creates complexities and problems. So if you want to simplify things, the best thing you can do for your RMDs is move all of your tax-deferred retirement plan accounts that are subject to RMD, move them all to the same financial institution, drop them all into an IRA, and then that allows you to aggregate those RMDs. So back to lump sum options. This is a common one. If you're not going to do the monthly, a lot of times people will just kind of wait and, maybe in August they're taking a vacation. And so that's when they know they're going to have a big bill coming up for that or have to pay for things related to their vacation. So that's when they decide to take their lump sum. If I have clients who have kids who are in college and they're helping to pay tuition, they'll time it a lot of times with that big tuition bill. Property taxes, depending on where you live. I have clients who pay their property taxes once a year, and so they'll time their distribution with that bill. Maybe they're going to redo their bathroom, whatever that is. We always have this uneven spending and reasons why you may want to take a lump sum. If you don't have a need for monthly income, if you don't have a big lump sum bill coming up during the year, then most of the time I will recommend to clients that they wait until the end of the year to take their required distribution. Now, why? Well, let's say your required distribution is $20,000 for this year, which is about what it would be if you had a little bit over $500,000 in your IRA, 401k accounts, whatever that may be. So $20,000 distribution, that's a certain percentage of your IRA balance, right? And that's calculated at the very beginning of the year. So that percentage, it's locked in, you're going to have to take out X number of dollars. But most of the time in a given calendar year, something like 70% of the time, maybe more, your account value is going to be worth more at the end of the year than it was at the beginning of the year. Because most of the time, the value, the market grows, the value of your bonds, the value of your stocks and other investments in there, it's going to grow during the year, most of the time. So most of the time, it would make sense to wait, because if you wait and the account value increases during the year, that fixed dollar amount that you have to take out due to your RMD is going to represent a smaller percentage of the total account value at the end of the year, if it grows, than it did at the beginning of the year. And what this does is that if you do that every year, you're going to be taking out a less percentage of your portfolio every year than if you did it at the beginning of the year. Again, most of the time. Some years you may decide that makes sense to take it out different timing, but taking lower percentage withdrawal rate from your portfolio helps to preserve more of your account balance. And it is a small sort of nuanced thing. It's not a critical strategy for retirement, but it does make a difference and it does move the needle. So if you have flexibility and you don't need to take the money out, then in a lot of cases, I would seriously consider waiting as long as you can during the year and maybe waiting until December, most years, to take that out. Not something you hear a lot, but I think it makes a lot of sense and it does help to, again, preserve that account balance, because most of the time you're going to take a lower percentage if you wait. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Ashley Michike, and this is the Retirement Quick Tips Podcast.